A member has a questions on our Discord sharing center. Yong, I'm working on large shapes and have drawn this picture and plan to paint it. But I am concerned about the large shapes is correct or not. I'm posting the reference pictures and please advise. So this is the reference image. This is the drawing. The small proportion, they're very correct. In the large simplified shapes, that is a little overlook. Let's take a look at the comparison. Take a look over here. This is the reference, and I want to draw the overall shape. On the reference, let's take a look over here. You can probably, if you focus on the biggest shape, you'll probably see that. This is the last shape. I want to double check on your drawing. You see on the top over here and like this. It's very much there, but let's take a look on here. It's a little issues. You're a little overemphasize a little bit too much. Let's change that to the dark color. Make it a little smaller. Here you go. And we should come down over here. And this should follow almost the same direction as the top over here coming down. And come in over here. And coming toward this direction. And a little smoother, come down a little bit, and this is coming, looking for the proportion between the mouth over here and this distance. This E, open up a little bit, like that. And this will solve the issues. Like that. And the back a little bit higher. And this a little earring. And this the hair. It should be at the hair over here. And this come out a little bit more. Like that. And the hair a little more on this side. And coming up like this. When you're looking at the small relationship, they are very, very good. Look at the two eyes and the nose. And the nose over here maybe come out a little bit. But is overall is there. It looks really good. Right? The mouth looks really good. And like that, the sideburn is pretty good. And this probably a little bit darker over here. It's not totally connect with that. It's a little bit isolated triangle. Like that. Like that. Most of our members having the similar issues, too quickly going into the smaller relationships, smaller details, smaller judgments, but forget the outside shape. So I'm going to do this watercolor painting to show you my process. The paper I'm using is Paul Rubens. It's a smaller size, 140 pounds, cold pressed. This size is only 7.6 inches by 10.6 inches, which is 7.5 by 10.5 inches size. It's just very good professional watercolor paper block. First, I'm going to start with the drawing with the watercolor. So I'm going to use this very light color to do a little composition. I'm going to keep it as a horizontal. So I'm going to see, take a look, and the chin is going to coming down over here, like that. And take a look, the overall shape. Don't rush into the details, just like that. Because the color is so light, it's very easy to change from here. Okay. You can see the overall shape, don't see the details, like including some of the changes over here. Those are considered detailed information. So if you want to change it, easy, just use the watercolor. Just use the water. It's very easy to change it. Okay, take a look at, if this is the location that you like, this will be on the shoulder, and there will be the front, and coming like that. I have plenty of space in the front over here in the background. So thinking about, if this is what you want, if you're doing the charcoal drawing, use the graphite drawing, and it's still the same process, the same thinking process. And okay, if I like this, and I'm going to divide this almost like into third, like from here, you can see that from the reference. I think from here and another, and would be in between the nose and the mouth, and like this, it will be this probably a little bit higher, like that. Over here, there will be the hair. That's the space for the hair. You can see is, I think it's just not 1/3 from the top over here coming down. I think only 2.5. I would say 2.5, and actually the nose right over here. So always think about the big composition, the big relationship. So the top over here, and let's move it back to here. This to the nose, and it goes to half over here. This is from the nose to the bottom as half of this. So, and then this is will be the space for the eye. So this, you think about the bigger composition, the biggest relationship, before you think about a smaller one. And this will be the nose. Like that. And obviously this mark is not correct, so I can remove it. Do you feel it's very similar to what you would use for the graphite and the pencil? The graphite and the charcoal, it's very easy to erase it, right? So okay, I'm thinking about this would be the overall composition. And in that case, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to divide it into a little smaller. So let's see. I then know that there's the eyebrows is probably here, and the eye in this location. Like that. And the nose coming to this side, and the mouth is about in here. Like that. And the chin is a little triangle right over here. And this side of the face, and here actually it belongs to the shadow side. Okay, now coming to the forehead. The forehead over here, the whole thing is in the shadow. It actually in the shadow shape. It's very abstract when you're at this stage, because all you're looking for is the bigger. And Patty, I know you are ready for this kind of painting approach, and include some of our members, you're ready to doing a little bit more abstract thinking. But for some other members, if you're feeling you're a little bit, you need to work more on the smaller steps and on more fundamental exercise. So just go to the Enjoying Learning community and to follow the drawing basics and do a little bit more exercise. And when you're feeling a little bit easier, and then you can come back to do this. So now I'm going to look at the ear. I will still want to see from the eye over here, coming all over here, and there is this very wide triangle. And the neck coming down right over here, like this. I'm doing that on a smaller paper, so it's easier than do it on a large paper because the space you have is very small. And let's take a look. Now, what I'm going to see, compare from the eye over here, draw over here from the eye line, draw from here all the way, it meet the top of the ear. And then coming down on the bottom over here and connect to the chin, the jawline to the chin over here. The mouth over here, we're going to define a little more later when we come back. Okay, now we're going to go into maybe take a look at the top of the hair. The hairband is right in here. Right, the hairband's right in this location. And pretty dark value here. Let's make it a little darker. I'm mixing with the burnt sienna with the present blue with the red. So now in this case, the burnt sienna act more as the yellow because you want them darker color. You put the yellow color, it would make it look too dark, a little bit too light. So the burnt sienna would help to make it keep it a little bit darker. So this area, that's a pretty dark color coming down on the hair over here and the hairline coming like this. So I'm going to give some member some challenge. If you can directly paint with the watercolor paint, and then just look and coming around this the hair coming around the ear like this. Like that. And then the back of the hair, that should be connecting more into the background. Like this. And I'm going to leave a little red color over here. And showing the three-dimensional effect on the hair, like this. Right now, almost like using the dry brush. Get the connection, and we're gonna waiting for this become dry and then come back over here and make some a little bit more definitions. And let's take a look at the overall composition. I'm gonna use this Paul Rubin squirrel brush. It's very nice brush. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna thinking about big. A little bit bigger. And I can throw other color in here too. The idea is I might want this showing a little bit more contrast, or maybe not. And you're going to use the value composition to create the edges that to create the feel that you want. I'm gonna have a little red color in over here too, like that, and have a little bit innocence. Now on the back over here, I also going to have some darker color, maybe a little blue, maybe a little brown color mixed into it. So like right over here, and then it can come inside the hair. That color can blend in over here like that. And then we need more definitions, and then we're going to do that in the later step. And up over here, I'm going to have a little bit more red color in it too. And now I'm going to come to this side, add a little bit more blue color. Now let's take a look. Paint around the ear. We already know the location of the ear. Like this. This is also a little dark. Now coming to the front over here. And if you're feeling a little risky when you're doing a painting, because you are trying to hitting or expanding your comfort zone, and you feel a little bit unsure, it's kind of like oh my God, am I really doing this? Am I ready to doing this? And this is a healthy question. And I want you to be a little bit more brave and don't be afraid. And now I'm gonna come in to add a little line over here showing there is a lighter blue color. From the reference, I don't really see much about what's going on in the back, but it's okay. That can be keep some imagination for the viewer to see. I'm gonna also put a little brown color with the burnt umber, burnt sienna, like that. Now their overall color compositions is almost there, and this is almost dry because we did this first. But we're not going to doing the smaller details, but instead I'm going to mix the red and the burnt sienna. Maybe this is too bright, so I'm going to mix a little blue color in here. This is good. Now what I want to do, I'm going to come back over here, take a look at the forehead. This is actually a little bit darker, and I'm also going to paint it into squint your eye. Okay, squint your eye. Then take a look at painting around the eye, and this area is actually in the shadow side. And this I can paint it into this eye if you want. It's okay. And leave the nose a little bit light. That is look like a triangle shape. And take a look under the nose. And then when you squint your eye, this is actually dark. Look at the bigger contrast. And the mouth coming over here, and the corner of the mouth right over here. If you can paint what you're feeling, following your sense, that would be a really good process. Okay, now it's coming down to the chin over here, like that. This under here still look a little bit dark, but maybe not as dark as up here. So I'm going to take a little bit more red, a little lighter color, coming continue. It is wet into wet. Now I'm going to use the side motion of the brush, like this, coming up this way. If the color blended, it's okay. Now I'm going to coming down from the sideburn over here, a little warmer. And now also going to use this almost the same color as the shadow side. I'm going to coming down over here from the lower eyelid area. You can see the eye like that. And now I'm going to clean my brush. What I would like to do, I'm going to blend this color a little gradually, coming toward the cheek. Okay. And also use a little light red color for the side of the nose, like that. That looks good. I'm gonna have this connected. That's good. Now I'm gonna paint it around. See the eye over here, paint it around, have a little red color, like that. On the face, most of the color they're very similar. because our skin tone is very similar, like this. And up here, the color coming up a little smoother. Yeah, here you go, like that. Now we're going a little bit about thinking about the transition, the edges, but that is should establish on top of the big composition that you already created. Okay, now over here I'm going to get a little bit red color for the cheek. Just over here, a little red color coming through over here. I'm going to clean the brush. Here you go. Fan it. Now have it like that, so that color a little bit softer. Now I'm gonna go into the ear, and with this kind of not really just red. Okay, I'm gonna looking for this color coming into the hair, and I'm gonna see inside the ear over here. We can get a little bit more details, darker color later, but right now just set the color. Only leave the colors pretty light, like over here at the bottom over here, and leave that later. Okay, we're gonna come back in the next step. Now right now you can see the light value and the dark value is already created and pretty good. And I'm going to just have a very damped brush. Take a look. I'm going to tap over here and create a little soft edges like that. This is good. Now I'm going to prepare this for the next step. A little softer on top of, at the tip of the nose, like that. And take a look down here too. I'm going to have a little softer. Make sure the brush doesn't have too much water, otherwise it would push the color, totally breaking the shape. I think this is pretty good. Now I'm gonna come back to the clothing and the hair, and I come back over here when it's dry, a little drier. Okay, now get the blue color and get a little brown color. The present blue and the brown color, if you think it's too cold, and then get a little red color, and it would make the color really dark, and this is good. Now what I like to do, I'm gonna come back over here to give it a little darker tone. I know this is a little wet, but it's okay, keep that. And don't rush to make changes. And if something that you say, oh my God, it's really wrong, and it's okay. You see how wrong it is, and we can come back to make changes later. Okay, like that. And a little bit dark over here, and also some darker color on this side. Okay. That's okay. And on this side, I like the transition into the background. But I don't want to make this too clear. So I'm going to use a very thin color. Let's see. Coming over here. A little bit dry brush, like that. A little suggestions for the end. That would be fine. And coming over here, make a little darker color, wrap around the ear. And have some dark color down here. Don't worry, everything will come around and deliver what you really want. Take a look at the bottom over here. Is lots of wet accumulate at the bottom over here, and we're going to remove that otherwise, and those wet is going to gradually coming back, and they create like a white flower effect. Okay, what I would like to do now, I'm going to let the face to dry, and we're going to come back, just finish the paintings really quick, easy. And over here, I'm going to just use the soft brush and coming up like this, give a little bit soft transition. Okay, like that for now. Now I'm going to give the hairband a little bit darker color, just for the bottom over here, like this. It's okay, looks good. Now I'm coming down, I'm thinking about what's the color for the clothing, and it has a little blue color, a little green color. I'm gonna see if that looks good. I think it's okay. And the back over here, give a little suggestions. There is the edge of the shoulder still going on. Like this. And get a little bit yellow color with the present blue. A little bit more yellow, so make it a little bit more green. Like this. Okay, actually that looks fine. And I'm going to have some really light blue color. Really light blue color. And just have some pattern. Like that. That represent that's good. And there's some red color over here. I can give it a little bit later. And a little bit lighter, like a red orange color. I'm going to put it on the top over here like this. That's fine. That's good. Now you see the color now coming down into the ear area. How I'm going to prevent it to going all over the ear? That's easy. Just lift up the color. Okay, slowly. Now see that? This color have been removed. Like that. That's good. And now this color is growing into the background too much. So what I want to do, I would need to do another round of the background over here. Maybe this time I'm going to use a bigger brush. I'm going to use this 1-inch flat brush. Now I'm going to brush even inside the hair over here, so I have a little bit softer transition. And the top over here, it's still wet. So let's see. I could have this color. I want to make that a little bit heavier in the background here. And connect it into the hair. Just think about the mark. You don't want to make it all smooth. I'm going to use a little softer. I'm going to have this maybe connected in here. Just think about a mark and to see how make you feel. And a little softer over here. And that actually good in the background. I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to take a short break and let it dry and then come back here. The paper already dried. Now I'm going to come back to continue the painting. And let's take a look. And first, we're gonna fixing some edges first. And like over here, I think this edge need to be a little bit smoother. The adjustments is very important. It's always needed. And if you want to really get your impression, really good impressions onto the painting, these steps is almost very important. I'm going to use the gold hair calligraphy brush. I'm also going to make this a little bit softer. Actually, paying a little attention to it, believe it that you can do it. And on here I can make a little bit lighter. And I got lots of feedbacks from the community in saying, oh, my paper, my color really can let me to remove the color that much, and just give it some time. And almost like every paper, you can remove the color unless you don't believe you can do it or you don't want to do it. You don't want to like laying your brush, like keep wrapping your paper. You don't want to wrap your paper. Like that's good. And now what I want to do, I'm going to take care of the color on the cheek and all the way coming down over here, taking care of the edge. So what I would like to do, I'm going to get a little red color. Okay, get a little red color and coming from the bottom over here, make a little bit darker. Now coming up, take a look. And on the chin over here, there's a little bit light red color, and this color coming all the way to the mouth, like this. That's good. Now this is nice transition over here, but I wanted to make it even darker. I'm gonna make a little bit darker color over here. Like that. I'm gonna start coming from here. Take a look at the transition. That's good. And I can coming all the way, make a little suggestions coming down over here like that. That's fine. Maybe a little bit cooler color like this. Now you can see this color bleed in to the face, and this is good. We're gonna see how it will look like after. And now I take this time working into the ear because I lift the colors, the blue color earlier, and I kind of leave it a little bit, kind of like a little bit too much cooler white color here. I'm gonna put a little red color here. Now fix the problem and give a little illusion the hair blocking into the ear. That could be also fine. And now I'm gonna get a little red color. Now give it a little red color for the just the hairband. I think it's coming down from here like that. Okay, just good. Now at the same time, I'm going to give this color into the shoulder over here like this. Good. Color like that. And maybe a little color over here too. Like that's good. And maybe a little color coming down on the back. Okay, this is mostly my imagination. So on the front over here, I have a little darker color coming like this. And now I can give a little color to the earring. Now take a look over here, the color coming in a little bit too much. I'm going to just push the color back in here. That's good. Just a little simple technique. And the earrings, a little bit, I'm gonna have a little bit orange color right over here, like that. And I'm gonna have that a little line connected to the ear a little bit later. So at this point, I'm gonna have a little bit red color over here too, connect to the ear over here. That's fine. I come back to the ear a little bit later. Now what I want to do now, I'm gonna come back to the top over here to take a look at from the here, the darkest color from the here. I'm gonna take the Prussian blue and have the bone sienna, and also get a little red. These three colors very important to make the dark color. That's good. Now I'm gonna come over here like that. Now thinking about shapes. Okay, that's good. And over here too. That. So look at how I use the brush. And brush stroke is very important. And I'm just going to give it enough suggestions in the back of the hair over here. And this also, I'm probably going to let go of that the little clip for the hair. It may not really need it. Okay, unless this is very important and significant if you're doing a portrait commission, and that it has some meaning to it, and you probably want to reserve it in the early step. Like this. And now take a look at on this side of the hair. Take a look, and this probably be a little bit too much into the background. So because the background already dried, you can just remove it. And if you want, you can actually have the color into the background and then connect it into the background so that it doesn't show so too clearly, and how it divide and separate from the background. Like that's good. Now I'm going to coming down to the forehead. Now take a look. Let's make a little darker color. Now coming down over here, pay attention, because this is almost like a smooth line coming down all the way over here. So I'm going to take a look at the eye. Okay, and the iris. Like that, and then the eye white a little smaller, like this. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have a little bit warmer color, just a little warmer color, and connect that color. Now take a look at the nose, like this. Look before you make the decision. And the side of the face, like this. And take a look at the nose. And the bottom of the nose, it look like this. That's good. Now keep the color coming down. And I think this color can fill in the whole shadow side area. Now take a look over here. And take a look at the mouth. And all the way to the corner over here. And we're gonna come back to do a little more. And right now I'm gonna get a little red color for the lower lip. Like that. And now coming down to the this area is a little bit darker, so I'm gonna add the darker color, merge into it. That's good. And look at the chin. The chin should go up a little bit, like this. Maybe that come back a little bit lower. I think I can move the mouth a little bit lower to balance it. And underneath the lower lip of the mouth, a little shadow area like that. And this probably already dry, so I'm gonna set the first tone for the corner of the mouth. Like this. And I'm going to blend that a little smoother into the surrounding. Always thinking about the edges. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to work into this side of the eye. And I start from a little darker tone. I think this too much water. So I'm going to remix the color. Make it a little bit less watery. This is the good color. And I'm gonna see the eyebrows. Why don't I just do the eye first and then come back and fix the eyebrows? Okay, let's see. Where's the eye? It's probably here. Should it be a little bit higher? Take a look. I think it's in the right place. Okay, that's good. And then the iris is about here. Like that. Make it keep a little bit highlight over there. And there's a little double eyelid, but the eyelid a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. The brush doesn't really need that much paint. First, in this eye, I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker. Like this, good. Double eyelid. That's good. Now we're gonna looking at the eyebrows. It's about here. Like that. And I'm gonna make the color a little bit lighter. A little bit. Doesn't really need that much water. So a little bit lighter. I'm gonna take this color for the corner of the eye. And also for the lower eyelid. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna come in to set other color around the eyebrows. Like this. That's good. Now I want to come back to this side. It looks like maybe a little bit too high. So what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna set a little darker tone first. And a little bit blue colors. That's good. Supposed to be in here. So I'm gonna set the iris is right over here. That's good. A little wet, so it's look a little bit blur. That's exactly what I wanted, because this in a little distance, like that. Now I'm going to put the darker color, suggest the eyebrows over here. Maybe a little bit darker, come back over here. And I'm going to come down to the nose. The nostril have a little bit darker detail, yeah, like right over here. That's good. And then on this side, it's good. Now I'm going to come into the mouth. Like this, coming through over here. Like that. Looks good. And the corner of the mouth should be a little bit darker. Like this. Now that's good. Now I'm going to go into the ear. So you're always looking at comparing through the entire portrait. And it's all need to be related. Now inside over here, seeing the shape. And a little bit lighter. A little lighter colors is good. Coming over here. Think about the brush stroke, how you represent the shape and the content. That probably okay. Now I'm gonna move this shape, light this up a little bit. Sometimes a little bit lighter is already expressed your connect your imagination. Now on the sideburn, I'm going to use the same brush, a little bit lighter like this. Let's see, like that. A couple lines, that's good. Like that, that's already good. And the forehead over here, also showing a little bit here, coming down. That's good. Little suggestions. And take a look at the corner of the eye. That's good. Inside the eye white over here should have a little blue color. So I'm gonna take a little blue color and mix it in here. At the same time, I'm gonna soften that existing color that I put in the early stage. That's good. I'm gonna take a look at the nose. I think this color a little bit too much in here, so I'm gonna soften it. So this is the time to do a little adjustment. Adjustment is always in every step. Okay. You know, don't worry about if you are going to make a mistake. There's always a way you can correct it. Correct that connections. And the top over here, I'm going to add a little red color. That is a little bit too white. So I'm going to have the color and a little darker color like this coming over here and connect to the outside. And all those small changes, soft changes, it represent the structure of the face. over here too. Like the nose, like right over here. And I'm going to do one more and transition from the bottom coming up like this, and a little red color on the sideburn over here coming out like that. And have this softly connecting to the face. The structure of the face is very important for the likeness. Okay, be very sensitive how they look. And I'm gonna have a little bit darker color. Also have a little red into here. That's for the lip. Like this. That's good. I have this. I think it's maybe too dark. Let go some color, and that's good. In the corner, like this coming up. That's good. And on this side, you can actually make more changes on the side of the face. I decided not to because I don't want it to become too important. So I know it's everywhere is important, but however, you don't want that area pop up too much. I'm gonna change the shape of the eye white on this side, the shadow side. Doesn't need that much contrast either. And over here, I'm gonna carefully lift up a little light shape and showing the lower eyelid. A little bit change. That's good. That's good enough. Now I'm gonna come back to see the whole portrait to see where I can make more inside the eye white first. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. Inside the iris, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker, like right over here. Usually in the top over here, it has a little bit more catch the shadow because the eyelid. And in here is usually have more, a little bit darker areas because there is the iris. This is the pupil inside. That's good. And that. And take a look. And in this area should be a little bit darker compared to there. So I'm gonna have a little bit darker color, have red and burnt sienna, maybe a little bit blue, a little bit like that, add a little bit water. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna start over here. You can see that the tip of the brush and actually have a little bit darker, and then on the other side a little bit lighter, and over here too, and have a little bit darker coming through over here like that. So I have this color connecting into the hair over here like that. Now I'm gonna come in to use a little lighter tone of this color and to help to blend the colors connected. Like that. And then I can tap a little color underneath over here, just showing that the lower eyelid. This. And over here, maybe a little bit darker. A little suggestions like that. And also over here, a little bit darker too. Tap a little color like that, connecting to. And now take a look at the hair. I'm going to take this dark color and I'm going to give a little suggestions for edge of the hair. A little bit more suggestions like this. That's good. A little darker color. Let's see. Coming here to suggest the contour of the ear. Like this. I may be a little loose here. Not in the reference, but you can suggest a little loose here, over here. And take a look at the outside over here. I'm going to have a little soft suggestions for the back of the hair, like that. Suggestions is all we can do. It's powerful. It connects the viewer's imagination. And underneath, I'm going to make the dark colors also over here. They're showing the catch the shadow. Like that. It's good. Now kind of looking at the earring. Okay, now the ear, this white color is stand out a little bit too much. I'm gonna get a little red color in here. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. Okay, that solved the problem. And the side of the eye, I'm going to soften this a little bit. It stands out a little bit too much. So this is the edges. You want the edges to look a little bit softer. You need to soften that, create a little bit more step. So that's probably good enough. Now I think for the sideburn, I'm going to do it one more time like this. That's good. So any suggestions of the sideburn. And let's take a look on the outside. I don't want a little more over here. Let me see the color. I'm gonna have, and also the top over here, I'm gonna have a little darker color connect to the hair. Like here. So I don't want that to stand out too much. And And coming down, have a little red color over here. And those are all following how you feel, like this. Background is very important to create the illusion and bring out the personality or some other message. I think here can come up a little bit as a little lighter. I like the motion of coming up like this, seeing that? And have the motion coming up like that. I'm going to keep that. And take a look in the back. Oh, okay, over here, I'm going to remove that color. Maybe not be able to remove it totally. At least I'm going to make it softer. Okay, like that. And now the back over here, I'm going to add a little blue color. And maybe too much. I'm going to leave up a little color over here. Okay, that's good. Now the painting is finished. And I hope this painting helpful for you. And if you're not yet a member, please join us and we can have more time to learn together.